Welcome to CryptoKTV. Today we have the pleasure to hosting Dr. Alexander and Dr. Byron from Zenotta. Dr. Alexander is the Director of Finance and Dr. Byron is Director from Engineering. Welcome to CryptoKTV.
Thank you very much.
Well, this question is for you. Can you provide a brief overview of Zenotta's current activities and its role in the digital landscape?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're involved in a lot of very exciting activities at the moment with Zenotta. We have just opened up our mining infrastructure. So we are onboarding at the moment as many miners as we possibly can to our network. This is a very positive development for the security of our network and the development of our technology. We're planning to list our token on exchanges at the end of October, so we're all gearing up for that. And in the meantime, obviously, we're continuing to perfect and design all of our technology based around our consensus mechanism, smart data, which is a new kind of digital asset, something we call a non-fungible asset, NFA, a bit like NFT, non-fungible token, but it's the next generation. And the whole architecture of our blockchain and our network that allows you to treat data in a decentralized way.
This question is for Byron. So what are Zenotta's plans for the future, particularly in terms of development and innovation?
Yeah, so as Alex mentioned, we're making a big push towards the mining client, as well as improving that technology to create a new form of mining that's green and energy efficient. Which will preserve the security of something like a Bitcoin, but sort of maintain a bit of that environmentally friendly approach that Ethereum has with proof of stake. We're also currently, as Alex mentioned, pushing very heavily into the smart data NFA space. So we're very focused on taking NFTs from where they are now into the future by placing off-chain data under on-chain blockchain governance.
Thank you. Alexander, what does Zenotta differentiate itself from other projects in blockchain and data space?
Great question. We have a number of ways in which we're unique. One of them is that, as I mentioned, we are a blockchain for data rather than just for money. So what that means is that digital assets can be traded peer-to-peer via our blockchain directly on what's called the layer 1, which means the part of the network consensus that is defended by a consensus mechanism, right, by mining in this case. This is atomic. This trade is atomic. It doesn't require smart contracts. So it doesn't require complex code to execute. It can be as simple as a payment instruction from both sides of the fence, if you see what I mean. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we have a smart data protocol, as we've mentioned, that allows you to achieve ownership of any kind of data, whether it's on-chain or off-chain, via the blockchain acting as a notary. And this is an incredibly powerful form of ownership because it means that for the first time, digital assets can be treated on the same par as real-world assets. You can compartmentalize an asset, you can give it uniqueness, you can have access, control of that asset, you can impart privacy to the data, and those assets can move around the internet in a way that's protected in the same way as real-world assets.
Could you share with us any insights into potential impact of Zenotta's technology and industry and individuals?
Sure, yeah. So going back to the concept of the NFT, or in our case, the NFA, there's obviously incredible opportunities for creatives of any kind, right? Whether those are artists, musicians, anyone who is creating something, putting their passion, their blood, sweat, and tears into something that they want to see given the value that it deserves. This is very hard to do in the digital space, because objects in the digital space don't retain their value properly when they can be copied, or when someone can just duplicate and then they have exactly the same asset. So you have to make it such that assets are distinct, and within the operating system that we're providing, which will integrate with a full internet protocol, creatives will be able to keep that uniqueness of their creations, and owners will be able to have legal ownership of and practical ownership of their assets. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, due to our unreliance on smart contracts, we've reduced risk substantially, which means businesses, and particularly the B2B sector, who care a lot about risk when it comes to not wanting to have a bug in the code that suddenly causes them to lose $1 billion, they can finally engage with blockchain solutions, because the solution to trade, in our case, is solved on the infrastructure level rather than on the code level.
Thank you for your answer. Byron, the last question is for you, so we can say that you have the last word here. Well, what exciting developments of milestone can we expect from Zenotta in the near future?
Yeah, we've got a lot of applications in a lot of different verticals. So to summarize, this has actually been quite difficult for us because there is so much going on, but a few key developments that I think have really taken off on our side. One is the introduction of a integration with a standard which traditional banks can integrate with, and allow them to also integrate with DeFi options as well. So this is called the ACTA standard. This is going to give traditional banks the ability to create financial derivatives and contracts on a blockchain infrastructure, but using traditional finance standards. So this is one huge thing that I think will make a lot of impact, and which we're already exploring with a lot of different partners, particularly in places like South America and here in Europe as well. Of course, the main development, as Alex has mentioned here, is the development of smart data, the data protocol, the ability for this to give data unique ownership characteristics, the ability to have it traded and operated on through a blockchain infrastructure, as well as the ability for that to proliferate across a range of different industries. So we're looking at applications within the gaming space, so game items, of course. We're looking at applications in the music industry, particularly around copyright settlement for artists and musicians, not only those who are emerging creatives, but even those who are established in the industry, big names, but who have unfortunately got a copyright backlog with traditional music executives that prevents them from being able to get the rewards that they should. So that's a huge big push that we'll be making in that vertical as well. But of course, because the data protocol is so broad and it applies to data of all kinds, the applications in industry are virtually limitless at this stage. So we're very excited ourselves to see where this technology leads.
Thank you so much. Very interesting project. Thank you for your interview, and thank you for insights. Very nice insights. We are so glad to have you here, and we are looking forward in order to hear new things about Zenottas. Thank you.
Thank you very much.